think I'll win, but like I'm confident I'll win. But I won't say that I'll win just because I like Trevor and I know it's gonna be a good fight.
All right, welcome everybody. The New Line and King of the Mountain State show. We're here July 16th talking to Andrew Toppin. Andrew is going to be fighting Trevor Bell on August 6th for the lightweight tournament championship for King of the Mountain State. Andrew, how's it going, man?
It's going good, man. How about yourself?
Going good, thanks. So you're coming off of a big win where you got to rematch Justin Milam, and I'm sure that fight meant a lot to you. I know everything wasn't going in your favor for that first fight, and then what was it like getting that one back?
So I had just lost my grandfather 3 weeks beforehand. So to win that fight, knowing like I had lost to Justin in December and my grandfather was there, and then I got to fight him again, it was definitely a great experience.
So I guess that was kind of a redemption story, coming back from adversity in that first fight and turning back the clock, beating this guy. Now you're in the finals of the tournament. How does that feel?
Being in the finals is cool. Like I had told y'all, I don't really fight for belts. I don't fight for money. I don't fight because I have to. I fight because it's fun. Like I had already told Chase before this, like I wanted to fight Trevor. Like Trevor's really good. I like Trevor. He's one of the top prospects in the region. So
yeah, he is.
So
he really is.
Tell us what made you want to be a fighter.
I fought all my life in street fights and stuff. So I got tired of getting in trouble and decided to go and start fighting in the ring.
So you were born in Virginia. You made your way to Puerto Rico, did a lot of training there. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I was born in Virginia. I stayed there until I was like 21, went down to Puerto Rico in Manabo, and started training with bare knuckle guys like Elvin Leon Brito, who is the first ever 165-pound champ in bare knuckle. Guys like Brandon Lambert. I've trained with Joey Beltran and Brenton Beltran, 2 stars in bare knuckle, former heavyweight champ and former title challenger. Lorenzo Hunt, he's currently the 185-pound champion in bare knuckle. Who else? There's been a bunch of guys from bare that have come down there to train. So to be learn from people that fight for a living and fight like around the world and stuff, and have fought around the world, it's definitely been an awesome experience. And I can definitely say Coach Caesar and Elvin are the reason why I'm in this finals.
So after this, do you see bare knuckle as one of the avenues you may look into? And I know you've talked about possibly some MMA, some pro boxing, and how about the bare knuckle boxing?
As soon as West Virginia legalizes it, I'm gonna fight in West Virginia.
Okay.
Bare knuckle is, to me, the purest form of combat sports. You can't get much purer than that. And being on the other side of bare knuckle, being a fan of bare knuckle, I think it'll definitely be a test of my will, my heart.
Yeah.
I've
always kept up with it. I started watching, I watched some bare knuckle in the beginning. Well, when they started sanctioning the fights, I started watching it, just kind of as a fan. And then some of the guys that I knew, Kane Tomlinson, Zion Tomlinson, guys like that, started, really following those guys and trying to keep up, with their careers. So I keep a BKFC subscription on the site just to watch all those pay-per-views.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
Go ahead. Well, so we talked a little bit earlier, you're traveling all around the world training. You've got a love for this sport, and I think you're a student of the game. So where do you see yourself going with it?
So fun fact, that's actually why I have the nickname The Gamer. When I met Elvin at the first bare knuckle event I went to, he was outside shadow boxing and like doing how he, like his style of fighting and just having fun. And I walked up to him and was like, "Hey, can you teach me that?" And he was like, "Yeah." So we actually have pictures of me and him, like squared up in the parking lot, like the first time we ever met. And he gave me the nickname The Gamer. In jiu-jitsu, like, or combat sports in general, you got the guys that take the notes on how to game and like how to get like slips and all that stuff, like. And he thought that would be me. So pretty much that's how I got the nickname The Gamer. But
and tell us a little bit more. How did you find your way to Puerto Rico? How did that all come about?
Brandon Lambert, sole reason. Me and him got cool when we met in person. He told me down to Puerto Rico, and it just so happens he let me stay there for a year to train. And now, because of that, I'm in a finals for a belt and possibly a pro contract. So
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel, having training partners and coaches who believe in you like that, who are willing to invest in you and help you along the way?
Having the guys in my life on my team is definitely a game changer, because without them pushing me every day to keep going and like do better and be the best person that I possibly can be, I wouldn't be here. Like I've battled drug addiction, I've battled alcoholism, all that crap, all before I was 18. So I'm coming up on 2 years clean, and like fighting for me is what keeps me out of jail. It keeps me from going and getting high and drunk and all that. And my team is also a big part of that too.
So we've seen you grow a lot, from the first sanctioned fight we've seen you in back in December up until now. You've climbed your way up to the championship of this tournament, man. I'm just really looking forward to seeing how far you can go with all this.
I'd like to know this next fight, this championship fight, how do you see it playing out?
Like I said earlier, I like Trevor, so I'm not gonna sit here and talk shit about him. He's a very good fighter. So I know I'm gonna have my hands full, but watching him fight in the first round versus Ronnie, and then watching him fight Brennan, I definitely see holes in his game that I feel like I can exploit to my advantage. Just like I'm sure he sees a bunch of holes in my game that he could exploit. So I think it's gonna be a dog fight. I won't say who will win, because it's definitely a 50-50 fight. We're very, very similar in styles and how we fight and stuff like that. So I think I'll win, but like I'm confident I'll win, but I won't say that I'll win just because I like Trevor, and I know it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah. If you could say one thing to Trevor right now before the fight, what would that be?
I won the first face off. He laughed first. But nah, man, I just hope we have a good fight and give a show for the fans. We're the co-main event, and whoever wins, it wins. Whoever wins deserves it. So
yeah.
I have one last thing. From talking to you, I can tell that you've had to overcome a lot, dealt with a lot. Your road to get here hasn't been an easy one. So now you're sitting here, living your dream, getting ready to fight for a title, traveling the world. So what would you say to other people who are dealing with addiction or depression, things like that?
So I actually go back to Virginia a lot and talk to groups and rehab that I was in. So huge shout out to True Recovery, RBA, the War Foundation, VAR, all of them. What I would tell people battling addiction and alcoholism and all that is you can do it. If you want to get sober, you want to get clean, you can do it. But you got to find that reason to stay clean. Like I have 2 daughters. Like they're my biggest reason to stay sober. And like without them, I wouldn't be here either, But if you want to stay sober, you got to find a purpose and a reason to stay sober. Without that, it's not going to work.
Well, my friend, you're certainly an inspiration, and I'm really proud to see where you're at.
Yep.
I can't wait to see you on August 6th in Charleston.
Yes, sir.